I keep getting AI phone calls about life insurance. And, after what I've seen and gone through, I kind of take that as a threat, especially when it was part of my Social Security case and it was brought up at my hearing in I think it was Valparaiso. We're at the motel where they did all the Social Security stuff at that time. It was a long time ago. That somebody had put on my paperwork instead of the correct hospital, they put hospice. And my lawyer was very offended by it. I was too after I thought about it as it being a death threat. And he seemed to have insider knowledge that this is some of the stuff that Hillary Clinton was doing to people when she was pissed off at them because she wasn't getting her way. Well, my point with this is the only other thing that I can think about that would fit life insurance is the fact that we were there, both me and Ronald Lee, Mayvera Brooks's son, when Arquilla and her notary had signed up for her to receive life insurance. She made it very clear in front of us that to the notary and to Peaches, Arquilla, they call her Peaches, that's her nickname, Arquilla Towers Lewis, I think her name is now. Anyway, it was made very crystal clear to her that Mayvera would never sign for her to have a power of attorney. And if you looked at the power of attorney that she claimed to have, it's very suspicious. Anyway, my point is this. When we did the paperwork for the title to the house, after everything was settled, and Ronald's family, his siblings, started having a fit about it. And it wasn't all of them. It was just some of the Brooks that were having an issue, and Patricia Drake. They had sent the police after us. Well, we politely showed the police our paperwork and explained to them what the truth was. And on body cam, and I didn't realize it was body cam until the police officer said something about it later. But we had it on body cam, or he did, that both me and Ronald witnessed her telling Arquilla and the notary that she would never, ever sign a power of attorney, ever, for Peaches because of her history for identity theft. And that she was only signing these papers because Arquilla had let her know that it was life insurance money, a life insurance policy. She also had Lincoln and Ronald sign papers as well. Ronald denied it later, but I was there. I remember it. I'm not retarded. And I wasn't hit in the head so hard that I didn't know what was going on. This was long after the original head injury. And so I'm sitting here telling people this. The officers had it on the body cam that Ronald had reported that there's no way. Also, Trish said the same thing. Even she had said that the papers that Arquilla Brooks had was suspicious, and she knew for a fact that Mayvera Brooks would never ever sign a power of attorney for Arquilla. I also happened to remember listening to Mayvera as Arquilla went after all of Mayvera's finances and how Mayvera had to tell bank after place that she was paying bills at that she would never, ever allow Peaches to have her power of attorney. I'll never forget what Mayvera went through with regards to Arquilla Brooks and the arguments that all of us overheard, because Peaches felt that because according to her that was her dad's money, she could tell Mayvera what to do with it all she wanted to. And so people don't hear that part of it with regards to the situation where this title to the land is concerned. It was already prearranged, and Mayvera made it very clear to the Brooks side, because she had two sets of kids, the Lees and the Brooks. She made it very clear to them that they would not get the property. It was not for them to have. The property had already been purchased on a forgiveness, a mortgage forgiveness, because of the bones that are on the property. It's part of a graveyard. And these guys, Mayvera Brooks told on them with regards to them pushing over and destroying some of the headstones in their effort at that young age to try to hold on to this property knowing it didn't belong to them. So this has been an issue for them, not for us, for them, for many years to try to hold on to stuff that they know just doesn't belong to them. And I'm not going to get into all of it with regards to the situation, other than to say that they did this to themselves. Sometimes people just don't want to hear no matter how wrong they are in a situation. How would all of you feel if it was your family's bones? Because there's still headstones that are out there, one of which is one of the Maddoxes. And it's very clear when you look on Pokagon Road who the graves are and who they belong to. I already know that there's other history with verification of who the other gravestones are that they destroyed. So because of this, what about that? What about the gravestones they destroyed? What about the mortgage forgiveness that was paid off by my family? They're not thinking about any of that stuff. All they're thinking about is what they want. It's all me, 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 me to them. Never mind, we gave them extra time and actually could have taken over the property when they vacated it and it was left in a condemnable condition. Because when they left, they stripped the property, the house, making sure nobody could live in it. They took the wiring, the plumbing, everything. They didn't leave a crumb, not even the furnace. And then they turned around and had the audacity to try to accuse me and Ronald of stealing it. I didn't have a vehicle at the time to even scrap anything like that. So where they got the nerve to do that from is beyond me. But these guys have gone to every extreme in order to try and keep this property, knowing that my family's bones are on it, not having any consideration for how they would feel if it was their family and their family's remains. So that goes to show you just how dirty and nasty people will be. These guys even went so far as to take my daughter and have her sent out of state in order to punish us for doing the right thing by fighting for our family's remains, which is really, really nasty. With God's love, I pray that these guys wake up and that they stop behaving the way they are. They're blocking their own blessings by treating me and my family the way they have, but they don't see it that way. I ask everybody to keep them in your prayers, and me as well, because I'm going through a bunch of crap right now because of standing up, not just for my family and our remains and our artifacts, but also standing up for American citizens and their right to have our tax dollars applied to them instead of illegal immigrants. And that'd be one thing if we had the money to spend on these people who were in our land, but we don't. We can't even feed our own soldiers. And these guys are maliciously, politically using our system in order to attack and hurt our own people who have fought for our country. And these guys, a lot of them are criminals. They're not trying to deport anybody that's been here for years that are upstanding citizens. We want the criminals gone and the people who are taking advantage of our system. With God's love, God bless America. Have a blessed day. Back the badge and support the Purple Gang.